Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. It is about 30 minutes after the close Friday. It is AAU season, the start of AAU season. My whole weekend is crazy. So I've been told I need to do this video tonight or else I can't do it. So I'd like to always share my thoughts with everybody to the best of my ability. And hopefully you guys can enjoy it, right? Enjoy and be confident in the data. If you can be so kind, all I ask is take a moment out, click a like, support the channel, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And again, I will continue to try to do my best to guys put you in the right direction of taking advantage of the next day, right? Not the next week, not the next month, not the next year, the next day. If you've been struggling in this market and you've been taught, the whole buy, hold, pray when the market turns against you, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a whole generation of traders. There'll continue to be a whole generation of traders that will continue to want to trade like everybody else. The whole social media celebrities, I want to be long and I want to be long at any price. I want to be long when the market goes down. I want to be long when the market goes up. A friend of mine put it perfectly. Okay. Retail is absolutely in love with the buy button. They'll buy at any time. As long as there's an uptick, they'll buy at any time. But the problem is the data is telling us we're not in an upside market. It's been very, very obvious, painfully obvious. So we'll get to that in a second. But again, you have a choice, right? When you start your career, you're not cemented in a one direction, right? You're not cemented as a retail trader. You might have you might be a retail account, but you don't have to have a retail mindset. There's a time to be very, very aggressively long, right? Above the 50-day moving average. And there's a time to really, really be short, especially below the 200-day moving average. And at any time, you have to choose to kind of stop the bleeding to figure out, again, do I want to be a buyer? And again, this is something we've spoken about so many times, but I keep on getting the same email over and over and over again. Dan, I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. And I've been following you on social media and this, that, the other thing. Look, guys, you have a choice. You can stop the bleeding. Again, you have a choice to be either a long bias investor, and that's what you are. You're not a long bias trader. You're a long bias investor. A trader takes advantage on both sides of the aisle. They're prepared and to strike with confidence based on the process and because of data. So if you're sitting at home and you are sitting there, watch your account bleed and bleed and bleed, there is an alternate side to this, right? There's an opposite side, and you could start taking advantage of it. It's I don't know what the mental block is for 99% of the people that just refuse to press that sell button with confidence. And I understand that, you have this helpless feeling, especially if you're long the stock and God knows where, and you're underwater. But again, at some point you have to turn around and say, look, I want to make a change. I need to make a change. I can't just sit there, watch my career go down the toilet before I even reach my potential. And there has to be a better way. Again, I'm not saying my way is the better way, but again, for all of us who've been together for 16 plus years in the webinar, you guys kind of know what we do every single day. I mean, it's kind of very, very neat. And all it takes is, if you're interested in pivots and you're interested in trading both sides of the market, all it takes is, again, guys, 30 days. All it takes is 30 days to see if it's a right fit for you. If you're a long bias trader and that's it, this is all you know, and you have your visors on and this is it. It's the end all be all. I'm going to die and live with my stocks. Listen, you're all adults. You're a dime, you're a dance floor. But again, there is an alternative. And the one thing I've been kind of privy to, somebody asked me, why don't you comment on the comments? I'm like, I speak 6 hours a day in the live webinar. I'm exhausted. The last thing I want to do is read comments. I appreciate it, right? I do. I appreciate the comments, but if you're interested, I'm 6 hours in the webinar. and I'll do my best to help every single person out like I have been for the last 16 years. So let's talk about it. Last time this week, I recorded the video. We talked about the market. All I got to do is go back to last weekend's video. The market was putting up 5 of the last 6 days of green candle closes. Basically, the sellers were getting a little bit tired. We talked about the importance of 486, and we got the really, really nice gap up above 486. And for the next 2.5 days, we had a great rally. Okay, it doesn't make a difference what you bought in that time span. We had an absolute great rally. And then by Wednesday, if you guys remember the Wednesday video, because there was no Thursday video, I said there's a major level, right? 294.20s, 294.20s. The bulls have to reclaim 294.20s. And the market rejected the QQQs at the 200-day moving average at the after hours highs. And from then, it's been nonstop selling. And the group that we talked about, and we were so prepared Wednesday into Thursday, so prepared on the semiconductors. If you guys remember the Wednesday video, we talked about, hey, any close on SMH is below 220, it's going to start a violent cycle, right? You see these semiconductors not participating over and over and over again. They're just getting killed. No matter what the market's doing, they're still getting killed. SMH has got absolutely destroyed. And the video was awesome this week. Really, really awesome. Lost this whole range here. Again, we talked about this on the Wednesday night video. Watching the video day 2, watching the video day 2, watching the video day 2. They lost a 3-week channel of 114.40s, while in the video trade all the way down to 109. AVGO was absolutely awesome, right? When we were talking about on Wednesday's video, watch AVGO. If it loses the 200-day moving average, again, it's not even the 50, it's the 200-day moving average. It's going to be a big deal, guys. Watch, it's going to be a big deal. AVGO lost it. I covered my last cover today was in the 169. It's traded all the way down, I think, to 166. Really, really great move. And you can go by one of them, one after another. AMD got hit, all of them. You can literally go one by one. We'll get to the pivots in a second. Really, really aggressive day. The market did us a great favor today, kind of opening things up a little bit mixed today. So we had a lot of value going into today. And the most important part is, well, what happens now? This time last week, the bulls squeaked out a 0.2% gain, which was broke a 5-week losing streak. And now you look at, end of the week, despite the pretty big rally in the first 3 days of the week, we're still down 2.5%. Today, the market just got absolutely hosed. The Dow was down 715 points. The NASDAQ was down nearly 500 or 2.7%. And S&P was down nearly 2%, which is absolutely huge. And now we have 2 things happening. We have the April 2nd, which is Tuesday, the April 2nd deadline for the tariffs. They kind of go into effect. I haven't been even following exactly what the hell is going on with the different aspects of the tariffs, but that is something that's been holding over our heads now for several weeks. Is it possible they iron out some sort of plan from now till Tuesday? Who knows, right? Who knows? But right now, it looks like the Qs want to test the March 13 lows. And if you go through every single chart, I mean, we're just getting, they're starting to break. The only good thing that the market did with that 3-day rally was giving us literally setups back to the downside. And if you look at today's pivots, man, it was really good, man. It was really, really good. And we took advantage, but we really took advantage. Again, the key to this business, folks, okay, is to not have a bias. You have an opinion, but not have a bias. So if your stocks don't confirm, you don't care, right? You don't care. Again, there's too many people, especially new traders. You guys are trying to be right. You're trying to be famous on social media. Who cares, man? I keep on reiterating all this time, calling tops, calling bottoms. Nobody cares about our opinion. It's the most irrelevant thing in the world. You're looking at the wrong thing. It's like a tourist going to Times Square and go, look at all the pretty lights. Look at all the pretty lights. And you realize nobody lives in Times Square. It's an illusion, right? It's an illusion. It's a distraction. And what you're doing is you are, in a way, you're sidetracking your whole career trying to be that trader who's right. Again, I've been saying this for years. You want to be right or you want to be solid? You can't be both, right? You can't be both. And the most important part is every single day, look at the charts, guys. I promise you, as the day is long, you don't need a social media celebrity to tell you when to buy or sell stock. Everybody has the same data. We all have the same data. Whether you're trading for 3 weeks or you're trading for 25 years, everybody's the same data in front of us. It's how you look at the data, right? Look at the data that you have, not the data you want. We're not in a bull market. People are still acting like we're in a bull market. We're not in a bull market. We're below the 200-day moving average. The charts are telling us we got rejected off the 200-day moving average. We lost the 200-day moving average. We're trying to resume its lows back from March. So how can you possibly go into every single day as soon as you get an uptick, right? Literally an uptick, say, well, that's the bottom. Right? It's a weird way of developing your career. I've been I'm going on my 26th year now. It's been a revolving door. I can't tell you how many traders I've met throughout the years. Okay. Especially, when I first started, especially in the first 9, 10 years in the prop industry, I can't tell you how many traders I've seen. Okay. I can't tell you because it's a revolving door because everybody thinks they're smart. Right? In this business, you'll get humbled because you're not smart. The data is smart. The charts are smart. The sentiment is smart. Understanding which way the wind is blowing is smart. We're just idiots. Okay. I don't know why so many people refuse to believe that the market is much smarter than you. We go with the data. The data says go, you go. The data says don't go. Well, hell, you don't go. But you have to take advantage on both sides of the market if you want to extend your career. If you want to wait it out, buy stocks in the bull market. Again, like I've been saying for years, the market will always make you right. 5, 10 years go by, whatever stock you own, you'll probably be all right. But again, if you are an intraday trader, you have to have the ability to trade both sides of the market and trade it with extreme prejudice. So let's talk about today's pivots. Marvel, again, this is it's always one of my favorite setups. Marvel, again, in the worst group for tech names, the semiconductors. Marvel got hit on earnings a couple of weeks ago. 63.65 is the earnings low. If we build below, can flush. Here was Marvel. Right, here was Marvel. So here's the earnings lows. Once it took out the earnings lows, went down about a couple of bucks. Again, this is the lowest close in the whole formation. Apple, the funny thing is I'm always prepared on both sides. This was literally the only upside channel that I would have at least considered if we rallied today. Apple got nowhere near 25 today. Let's just say that much. Reddit was a little odd, right? Reddit was a little odd, for the love of God, please confirm. So Reddit took out 105.50, went down a couple of dollars, and then it started rallying towards the end of the day. I'm not sure what the hell happened there. But here was the one. Here is the one. I mean, you can guess. I love Tesla. It doesn't make a difference which way it trades. I love Tesla. You had 271.82. If you watched yesterday's session, was out of its mind. Tesla had a huge move, absolutely huge move. Traded up to like almost 292 yesterday. Completely reversed, right? Completely reversed. And almost went red on the day. And as soon as I saw that, my game plan for today was, well, if this thing gaps up and starts losing today's channel and this week's lows, man, this thing's going to get hit. Check mark. It's 271.82 and 266.51. If it builds below, can flush. Here was Tesla. So it took out the previous day's low, the 5-day, we're talking about the 5-day moving average, the short-term sentiment, took out this week's low of 266.50 and traded all the way down to 260. I still like it for more downside next week. Again, as soon as the market doesn't die. NVIDIA just keeps on going lower and lower and lower. Again, they're just pounding it with puts. The big breakdown was on Tuesday. If you guys remember 1450s, this is just more of a continuation pattern. 110.66, if it builds below, can flush. Traded down to 109. Again, still looks lower for next week. Meta got murdered. There was a guy who came in, just to give you an idea. There was a guy who came in right at the open, literally at 9:31. He bet about 150 grand for the Meta 580 puts. I'm talking about literally within the first minute of the day. And here was the pivot, 600 and 596.49, which is the pre-market low. If it builds below, can flush. Meta got destroyed. Okay, absolutely destroyed. Meta lost the 600, literally lost the 5, the 10, the 150-day moving average, and traded all the way down to the 200-day. Guys, we got to watch Meta tomorrow. For Monday or Tuesday, this thing loses the 200-day moving average. This Meta is going to get absolutely shelled. But huge move down on Meta and AMD, right? AMD 105. If it builds below, can flush. AMD, as you can imagine, just like every other semiconductor, got absolutely hit, traded all the way down to 102 and change. Again, still more downside for next week. So again, we're set up for next week. Folks, I would say this to my kids as well. Look, if you're going to do something in life, do it all the way, right? Be all in, okay? It doesn't make a difference if you're a part-time trader. You have to put in a full-time effort. And buying stocks on dip underneath supply is just not going to get it for you. It's just reality. Again, you can have dead cat bounces. I've been saying this for years and years and years, even going back to 2022. You could have the worst market in the world. You'll still have some aggressive days to the upside. Look, if you want to sit out to the downside and trade those days to the upside, God bless, right? God bless. But you can see the whole formation. You can see all the supply, and you can see all the data is telling you you're not buying the market. We're not in a bull market anymore. Guys, have a great night, everybody. If anybody needs me, if anybody needs to talk, I have questions, folks, all it takes is 30 days in the webinar. See what it's all about. See if the pivots are for you. Like I've been saying for years, are pivots for everybody? Probably not. Okay. But if you want to make this a career, you got to go in all in. Guys, have a great night. God bless. I'll see you all Monday.